to like normalize these like lack of videos, lack of like effort towards things, struggling to, you know, like normalize feeling bad for this person on a consistent basis. And like, if you question it, it's probably because she's trans. So like, obviously that's like something that, you know, like that's immediately the issue, is because she's trans. That's why we have these criticisms, right?
Bring her about. I've got another salvo.
I'm full screening this one. Notice she's pulling up her own videos, by the way. And of course this one.
Feel alone.
This is a video that made it very clear that this person is intentionally using their videos to, like, how Deadly kind of put it, grooming and normalizing their very dangerous and unorthodox lifestyles and choices to avoid any criticism and accountability for their avoiding responsibility, to the point of like costing them and their partner their apartment, losing a job, relying on their like barely being able to do their YouTube job. Like, just keep it in mind. This is all scripted. This is all intentional. This is.
Do you, whether you're...
Okay, I'm adding people. Updates here.
Sails down, anchors up. Just waiting for your command.
Okay.
Welcome in, huh? What can I get you?
Sorry, I gotta do my shop real quick.
You might try JJ shop.
No aquatic. Kind of sucks. Telecom. Okay, yes. Oh yeah. Yeah, this is the one where this is literally the video where I'm like, man, I could basically we could just start this deep dive. I can show you a couple of videos and it's like analog horror. This is it. I'm full screen this bitch. Let's smoke. I need to finish this bowl before we start this. Like, and it only became more and more clear as I watched the first like 45 seconds. I was like, oh yeah, this is way more manipulative and way more gross now. Now seeing way more context prior that they've tried to present. Okay. I promise you this one does not involve kink. Although this one is it feels very heavy on sympathy baiting, and I want you guys to pay attention to the framing and everything like that. You guys did phenomenal the last time that we watched a video where this person was driving around, and that's another thing I want to warn. She is driving through parts of this, so just be warned. Okay, let's smoke. Well, cheers.
See that plank? Walk it.
Do you feel alone? Do you...
Which feels, we watched something like this earlier.
Kissing them, hugging them, or even looking directly into their eyes, feel like you're still alone? Have you spent your life trying?
Notice it's her video and like one that had the most like brainwashing feeling to the intro, by the way. Wow, that was such a lucky fucking saw that. That's crazy.
I got a pretty big night ahead of me. I've got to pick up my girlfriend from work around 8 a.m., but
Remember the last night when I was like, and people in chat were like, I can't believe, I fucking hate that she's recording while driving. And I was like, oh, it gets worse. She drives while holding a microphone. This is the video.
I just can't sleep.
Does this have the analog horror vibe, though, by the way?
And I'm sick of being at home. Vertigo hasn't been super bad lately, though, so...
Let me do this.
I kind of figured I'd just drive around for the rest of the night. Sort of clear my head.
So you guys can see in the actual resolution.
There's a reason I'm in this particular parking spot. A little over a year ago, I had an affair. This might sound like the introduction to an apology video, but it really isn't.
Are we surprised? Are we surprised that they're like trying to like tell us that they did this like morally corrupt, like morally bad behavior as like not that big of a deal?
This is a video about how I got my soul back. This is a video about how I rebuilt myself after nearly losing everything. This is a video about every single one of my friends coming to hate me and how they slowly came to trust me again.
Notice, every single statement revolved around her. Notice how none of those statements framed her in a bad light.
The reason I'm in this particular parking spot.
Let's listen to this again real quick. Me, my, mine. Yep.
I had an affair. This might sound like the introduction to an apology video, but it really isn't. This is
like being like, yeah, I know I did something really bad, but I'm not apologizing for it.
a video about how I got my soul back.
It's actually about how like I did something for myself. Like, it's not about me being a bad person. It's about me being a good person because yeah, like, did this feel this is really gross, right?
This is a video about how I rebuilt myself after nearly losing everything. This is a video about
I want you to like, I want people in chat to pay very close attention to the framing of this video, because the framing of this video will bleed into the next videos that we watch, and it really puts a interesting taste on the rest of the videos that we watch after we watch the framing of this.
Single one of my friends coming to hate me, and
this is a very strange framing.
This is a video about hating myself, and this is a video about loving myself. This is a video about how I used to be evil, but became good again. This is a video about honesty. For years now, I've prided myself.
Is it? This doesn't feel very honest. This feels very self-centered, very narcissistic. Very me, my, and mine, like Hertz just put it as.
On my communication skills and my willingness to say anything about my life on this channel. I'm an open book, and I always have been. But there was a caveat to that. For my entire life, I was a strong believer in the idea of what they don't know won't hurt them. I was of the opinion that lying to people was okay if it spared someone some pain.
So, yet another morally, morally wrong, considered morally wrong thing that she's admitting to doing. Now watch, she's not going to take responsibility for it. Watch.
This perspective created a wall between myself and everyone else in the world. a lead head that my brain was always going to be isolated within. Nobody could get in, and nothing real could get out. I was permanently divided from everyone else, all alone.
Oh, good. Talking about being separated, being separated from everybody else for whatever reason.
Into my head, holding on to my secrets as the sole protector of these ugly, heartbreaking truths about a person that the people in my life cared a lot about. Weirdly enough, before the affair showed me just how dangerous this perspective was,
Yeah.
it was something that I took pride in. I was burdening myself with secrets in order to protect the people who cared about me.
No. Let's be clear. When you have an affair on somebody, when you have an affair on somebody, and then you tell them about it, you're not telling them to save them. You're not holding on and withholding the information of that affair to save your partner. I want to be very clear. That is extremely manipulative framing. Oh, I didn't tell you I cheated on you because I didn't want to hurt your feelings. No, then you shouldn't have just cheated. Like, it's pretty fucking simple. Your whole life is this, like, everything that your life is a secret because you have framed it as not what you're like. You have framed it to how you want. So your world is a whole fucking secret to everybody else because you won't let people into your world unless it benefits you. And then you will only use that to benefit you.
I was fully intent on carrying that particular secret to the grave.
Which is like fucked up already anyway, by the way. Like, if you're gonna cheat, at least have the fucking spine to like tell your partner. Like, and then just be like, yeah, I was really fucking shitty for that. How can I make that up? It's actually worse to sit there and be like, I was actually planning on not telling my partner I cheated on them. Like forever. I planned on like marrying this person, having a family with this person, or like a life with this person, but never telling them that I cheated on them. Like, and like, we're going to find out not just like one time. This is like on a course of time, by the way.
After we called it off.
Like we're now in the era of like why I think this person is dangerous. You're going to see what, like, we have seen the buildup and the manipulative, like, kind of like normalizing of these really bad behaviors. That's why we watched all those videos before. Why we've done like 6 hours of diving prior up to this. It's just so that you can see how this, like, the result that this person is trying to do, the wool that this person is trying to pull over their audience's eyes.
Myself and the girl I was secretly involved with, let's call her Ashley, were deleting messages for hours, discussing all these...
Hiding, like, it doesn't get any better. It's like you're talking about you're making an active effort to hide your affair? Are you cheating? Like, what?
Plans for how we'd keep what we did a secret. We would never speak of this again. Well... One day I broke down. See, the issue with designing my entire life philosophy on the fact that nobody would ever be able to bridge the gap I created between my mind and theirs is that eventually someone does find a way to genuinely...
I hate this person. I just want to clarify very clearly. I hate this person because of the way that they view themselves compared to the rest of the world. And that they always will compare themselves to a victim as a victim. They felt like they have separated themselves so far away from people that they will always be the victim. They will never be in the wrong. They will always like notice how they're framing literally cheating on their partner and then conspiring and working with the person that they cheated on their partner with to delete the evidence and try to hold that secret for good. as like literally not even anything bad, by the way. Like and y'all know me. I'm someone that's like, I'm a very pro open relationship for the right people and everything. But like, if you're cheating on your spouse, you're cheating on your spouse. Like, if you're having an affair, you're having an affair, and then you're like doubling and tripling, quadrupling down just to make it seem like I'm trying to understand. This is the thing that has really gotten me through all of this, and you guys will probably be on the same train here very soon. How is this person okay with this behavior? Hiding messages of them cheating, willing to hide it and go to their grave with it, the secret. Consider it a secret. I'm sorry, but like most people in my community, including myself and Bump, would all cut your ass off real quick if you were our partner. If I was dating you in an open relationship, monogamous relationship, you want to sit there and you want to try to hide that you slept with somebody? That's cheating. That's where I draw the line. I cut you out. Bye. I kick you out the fucking house. I think that like that applies to even monogamous relationships. But keep in mind, they have not admitted to taking any actual responsibility. If anything, they have doubled down by saying that they worked with Ashley, the person they cheated with, to delete the evidence and messages.
Connect with you in a way that you didn't think could ever be possible. If you spend your entire life building a wall around yourself, the idea that someone else could ever tear it down doesn't even occur to you until it's already happened.
And like the audio is intentional, by the way. Oh, like again, keep in mind every bit, every aspect, every single aspect of this video specifically too. This video is very specifically planned. The camera that we're seeing, there's a script that's their phone.
This is what happened with my girlfriend and I.
With the script.
I was and still am deeply in love with her. That never stopped being the case over the entire duration of the affair. You might be wondering how that could
this is very much scripted.
Be true.
They even admit it.
Particular mystery later, but at the time, the fact of the matter was that I was being dishonest to the person I was in love with. The person who, to this day, I cannot even conceptualize a future without. The person who I know I'm going to marry and die with.
Really? You're willing to hide? That's wild to me. You are willing to hide your affair from the person that you know you're gonna marry? Please leave that relationship, leave that poor person alone. You're only gonna do nothing more than you break this person's heart.
Driving around all day, looking at the different apartments that we'd seen online, and something hit me. Something happened that had never happened to me before.
Yeah, this is like, by the way, during the medical mystery video.
I thought to myself, I respect this person too much to let her sign another lease with me before she knows the truth, before she knows what I'm capable of. She was fully intent on spending her whole life with me, but
what I'm capable of. Yeah, one relationship as well as others, by the way. You'll see.
She had no idea that I could do something like this.
Like she's willing to use other people to justify her shitty behavior and her like morally gross behavior. That's what we're hearing. Is like willing to like continue this without any remorse. We're finding out that she eventually did get guilt and feel guilty about it, but like that took signing a lease with this person, right? That's crazy. That's dangerous. That's psychotic.
Said the affair had already been called off at the time, and both of us were intent on keeping that secret to the grave, but
I want to emphasize the wording of this. The importance of the wording and the framing of this video.
well, my girlfriend tore down the wall. I cared about her too much to keep up the act. While we were waiting for Ashley to clock out and get in the car.
Oh, that's like so like morally like gracious of you that you felt so bad that you had to tell her. Oh, that's so nice of you. Jesus Christ.
Parked in this exact parking spot, as a matter of fact. I told my girlfriend what we had done. Naturally, she broke down. All of her worst fears had been realized. Her girlfriend...
Land legs make you predictable. You move in straight lines.
Yep.
and one of her best friends had been completely disregarding her mental health and conspiring to just keep her in the dark.
Hold on. I want you to all pay attention to
Naturally,
this.
she broke down. All of her worst fears had been realized. Her girlfriend and one of her best friends had been completely disregarding her mental health and conspiring to just keep her in the dark about what we were capable of. And she only found out...
Notice she said we? So this person was having an affair with their partner's best friend.
because of what must have appeared to her to just be a fluke in my programming. When Ashley got in the car and found out that I'd let our secret leak, she was furious with me. So I drove the two of them home feeling lonelier than I'd ever felt before, and knowing that I deserved that much loneliness and more. I did my best to answer all my girlfriend's questions honestly, but I just couldn't. I wasn't a strong enough person to be completely honest with her, and so I kept a lot of details hidden. To be honest, I thought I was finally doing the right thing, but only telling her half of the truth feels like the most selfish thing that I've ever done.
Wait, you only told her half of it? What?
She had her reality shattered, and I got to feel like I was finally being
Beyond
honest,
an asshole. Asshole's a light way of putting that.
Honesty. I just plain didn't learn my lesson. I thought that I could go right back to keeping secrets. This would be around the time that I
So you're also just stupid when it comes to this.
started
Got
working on
it.
that Disco Elysium video you saw in the beginning. All about how being completely honest, open, and communicating with people without compromise seemed like a fantasy that the laws of physics could never abide, and how the filter of language would always dilute any thought or feeling I had to the point of not being perfectly pure or accurate.
Yeah, she smokes cigarettes. Really weird.
Go figure.
It drives me
Well,
nuts.
Over the next couple of months, it seemed very clear to me that Ashley couldn't keep living with us. My relationship would never be able to heal from this if she was around.
Yeah, the person that she was having an affair with was living with them. Notice how this is like all like kind of coming out in little chunks of like how actually bad this is. Like how awful of a thing this is to do to somebody. Like that's insane, right? Oh, I cheated on you. I've been cheating on you. Oh yeah, but it's with your best friend that we live with. And I wasn't going to tell you. We were actually hiding the messages at one point. But like I felt bad at one point. So I guess I figured I'd tell you.
I know the eastern sky is beautiful at dawn. But can we get moving?
Oh no, not now. This is in October. This is like still a couple months ago. We're still not up to date in the timeline. By the way, we're close, but we're
And what I now know was a lie, a bid to keep me from hating her. Ashley told me that she didn't regret what we did.
It was a lie to keep me from hating her. You should hate yourself. I want to be very clear with that. You should hate yourself.
Ironically enough, hearing that is what made me hate her. Regret had...
If you're willing to hide this kind of stuff from the person you know you're going to marry, you should hate yourself deep down to every single cell in you. I'm going to be very clear with that.
Existence, but there she was, telling me in private that she didn't regret it. I didn't realize that she was lying.
You should be stuck with the burden of hating yourself until you decide to learn from your poor actions. That should be a burden that you have to deal with.
Me until much later.
But that's my personal opinion.
But that was the final straw. My girlfriend said she would be okay with it if Ashley kept living with us, but she told me it was...
That's my personal opinion.
I kicked her out. And when my girlfriend and I couldn't find...
No, you kicked her out. You kicked her out so that way you could save your relationship. Golden. Real fucking golden.
Our landlord raised the rent past what two people could afford on our own.
Yeah, so you fucked up. You fucked up your entire living situation for you, your partner, and another person because you couldn't stop from cheating on your spouse, your partner, the one that you know you're going to marry. Like, notice there's like taking some responsibility, but actually not like admitting that they did something wrong. Like,
lost the apartment and had to move back in with my parents. That's why I said
the Minecraft video. So what was the vertigo then?
In the Minecraft video that losing the apartment was, in some small butterfly effect way, my fault.
It was all your fault, by the way. It was all of your fault. Because if you hadn't have just had an affair with the person you were living with, the third person that helped make sure your bills were paid, like, I'm sorry, that is a way different framing than what we heard. Do we need to go back to that video? Because